The Morant Bay Urban Centre, has been declared open, and several businesses who are set to occupy spaces at the facility given their symbolic keys at a lavish opening ceremony in St. Thomas earlier on this Thursday. But what is the Morant Bay Urban Centre? Where is it situated? And what is it poised to do for the parish of St. Thomas and for commerce and the comfort of people broadly speaking in the East? We'll answer those questions for you today on Lead Story. Slight discombobulation at the start of the show because just as we were coming on air, my team Arnett Gardens fell behind to an excellent Cavalier team 1-0 in their semi-final of the Rain Never Jamaica Premier League. Of course, that game, that game and the second game will be carried on CVM TV, and so it just set me back a little bit. But the business at hand is the Morant Bay Urban Centre in this edition of Lead Story. And as I said at the top, in case you have come in late, you don't know what the concept was, you don't know what is intended for Morant Bay, nor do you know what it is intending to do for Eastern Jamaica and St. Thomas specifically, well, we hope to answer those questions for you.
Morant Bay Urban Centre, an integrated industrial and commercial complex, a one-stop shop which will see the amalgamation of the services provided by the government of Jamaica and the private sector. The Morant Bay Urban Centre will be a transformational change for social order. It is secured from the main road by 3 security features: a fence, a berm, and a pond. In addition to that, the Urban Centre will have a 2-floor security tower manned by security personnel, CCTV, an access control system, and a police post. A new perspective of urban centres where security is led by the state. The 436,000 square feet Morant Bay Urban Centre will have 3 entrances, one exclusively for security personnel and staff accessing the court facilities at Justice Square, an ingress and egress for traffic management for those accessing the fast food drive-thrus, and then this is the main entrance, leading you along Paul Bogle Boulevard to one of the focal points of the development, the St. Thomas Municipal Corporation Building. Adjacent to the municipal building is the Town Hall, supporting the services of the municipality. In addition to the Town Hall, there will be conferencing facilities complemented by a courtyard. Located next door to the municipal building and the Town Hall are 2 BPO facilities, totaling approximately 37,000 square feet, expected to employ some 3,000 persons working on a 2-shift system. Next to the BPO space is the commercial retail zone, which is the redevelopment of the existing structure. The zone will host a range of commercial businesses, a museum to be known as the Paul Bogle Hall, highlighting the rich cultural history of St. Thomas, financial institutions, a food court, a medical facility, and a daycare facility. From the commercial complex, the facility allows easy flow to the area known as Justice Square, facilitating a host of government services. Prominent among them is the courthouse, which will house the family court and the parish court. The courthouse leads you to a full-service tax office, the Registrar General's Department, the Passport, Immigration and Citizenship Agency PICA, linking government services for greater efficiency and satisfaction. Additionally, Justice Square will be supported by a police post. From Justice Square, we flow easily to the Heart Trust NTA, which will support continuous training for youth development and job placement for the important BPO sector and other businesses. The industrial zone will allow easy access to agro-processing, light manufacturing and warehousing, with varying square footage of space to support small, medium and large enterprises. Adjacent Adjacent to the industrial zone is the well-conceptualized space for higher education to be occupied by the University of the Commonwealth Caribbean, UCC, to support the expected demand for a higher education facility for the area. Finally, the complex is intentionally anchored by a major financial institution along with 4 major fast food establishments, each with their own drive-through to meet the varying demands of their users. Supporting the overall facility is a heritage park, which speaks to the rich culture and heritage of Morant Bay and by extension St. Thomas. The park will incorporate a recreational area and a jogging heritage trail. As part of the design of the urban center, the aim is to reduce significantly the cost to do business through the deployment of green technologies. The urban center has access to multiple wells, which will be upgraded to provide potable water for the use by businesses and their clients and for landscaping. An integrated water harvesting system, which includes the use of the ponds, will be employed to supplement the water source for firefighting and landscaping and ultimately reduce the strain on the drainage system and minimize flooding. The cost of energy is also significant to the development and growth of businesses. The aim, therefore, is to reduce the high cost of energy by installing PV systems to supplement the energy requirements of the urban center. It is anticipated that this will result in significant savings. The facility will have over 1,300 parking spaces and will include those reserved for the municipal corporation and the courts. Construction of this development is projected to take 2 years. Of the 436,000 square feet, the existing Goodyear footprint covers 130,000 square feet. 306,000 square feet of new building space will cover the municipal building, Justice Square, and the industrial and light manufacturing zone. And speaking of zone, the Morant Bay Urban Centre will be a special economic zone, which will bring significant benefits to businesses operating in the space. The Morant Bay Urban Centre, fulfilling the mandate of Factories Corporation of Jamaica to achieve the Government of Jamaica's economic growth and job creation agenda by providing industrial and commercial space for a variety of industries. A game changer for the town of Morant Bay, the parish of St. Thomas, and a blueprint for future urban developments.
Well, if you're not impressed, I certainly am. After the break, we'll hear from the Prime Minister.
Join my private room. Only $1,000 for a grand time.
That I know me. We never said that. But who going believe me?
That is correct. $4,350,000. Yes, go ahead. $4 million? I never approved that.
Yes, me go doctor tomorrow. So me have to get the money today, no longer. Then no me face that. We never make no record or beg nobody no money.
Deepfakes are AI-generated images and videos made to look and sound like people we know and trust. They're used to spread misinformation, destroy reputations, and are used to commit fraud and scams. Don't fall victim to deepfakes. Protect yourself. For more information, visit broadcastingcommission.org or scan the QR code on screen.
These days, challenges are everywhere and things are constantly changing, but independent living remains the same. Rising above physical challenges, we can help you do it. For years, we have been Jamaica's trusted provider for solutions to improve patient care, safety, and general quality of life. No matter your age or your physical limitation, we are the caring store, waiting to serve you. It's time to experience independent living. Visit us today.
Welcome back to Lead Story here on CVM TV. So the Morant Bay Urban Centre, the presentation in that video shows a lavish facility, expansive facility. Big businesses set to occupy shops there, educational institutions, the municipal corporation, fire station, police station. It is integrated to be modern in every respect. And you heard talk today from the officials who spoke at the official ground opening ceremony that the Morant Bay Urban Centre will be a model for other such places elsewhere in this land called Jamaica. The Prime Minister was there to be the main, to present the main speech at the proceedings, and we have cut highlights of what he said, just to give you some context and to give you some grounding into what his vision is for the facility, the amount of investment that has gone into it, and just what they expect that the Morant Bay Urban Centre, not Montego Bay, Morant Bay Urban Centre is set to do for St. Thomas and Eastern Jamaica, broadly speaking.
We have built this Morant Bay Urban Centre at a cost of $6 billion Jamaican dollars. We have built the Yalas Fire Station at a cost of $163 million Jamaican dollars. We have upgraded the Acadia and Port Morant Health Centre at a cost of $37 million Jamaican dollars. Not to mention the whole heap of social housing that we have given in the parish, and today I'll be handing over about 6 more. And we're not stopping yet, because there is much more to be done. Much, much more. We have 13.5 acres of land in proximity to this development. And I want you to look out for it, because I intend to come to the first festival or stage show that is kept here, when Gramps and the Morgan family is performing, when Popcorn, as Prime Minister, of course. What do you think? I intend to be there to hear Tony Ann sing. Sing. I'm not going to do any singing today. But we're going to develop that 13.5 acres of land into a multi-purpose entertainment and sports facility that is going to be the envy of other parishes. This project is not yet finished, because we're going to do another extension of 10 acres of new buildings for micro and small businesses in St. Thomas, right here, right on this center. And we are not just thinking for 5 years, we are thinking for the next 50 years. This urban center is going to grow. And so we are taking the steps necessary to ensure that we have access to lands around the urban center to secure its future expansion. We are very happy that we can bring a university to the parish. We are very happy that the Heart Trust is going to be here, not just as an administrative office, but they will have the training facilities here as well. When I heard the announcement that PICA will be here, a lot of noise went up for them. That's the Passport, Immigration and Citizenship Agency, JPS, NWC, the National Housing Trust, the Jamaica Information Service, all kinds of government entities are going to be here. So the people of St. Thomas don't have to travel to Kingston to be connected with their government. They can come right here. Oh, did I mention that the tax office will be here as well? But while I'm very proud of this building, which is your municipal head office, your parish council head office building, I'm also very proud of the courthouse. And there's a reason. You see, a part of the spark for the Morant Bay Rebellion was that the small farmers, the children of the former enslaved who worked the fields, trying to do their little business, they couldn't get justice. They were occupying lands, and the plantation owners didn't want them to become subsistent farmers. So they did all kinds of things to undermine their occupation of the land, so that they had to come back to the plantation to work. And therefore, even if as freedmen they would go to plead their case in court, they couldn't get any justice, because the administration of the court system was also a part of the planter class. And that created a sense of injustice in the society, and that boiled over into the rebellion. So it is very symbolic that we are going to be putting right here the most modern court facility in Jamaica, and possibly indeed in the Caribbean, right here in the Morant Bay Urban Centre. We are also going to be building out medical facilities, and this will host 25 specialized units ranging from general practitioners, pediatricians, neurologists, orthopedic surgeons, you name it. And we will also have a facility for accident and emergency and urgent care. This will significantly improve access to health care in St. Thomas. We are laying the foundation, my friends, for a new economy in this parish. And I want you to pay attention to that mission. We are not going to create prosperity without creating an economy. And to create the economy, you have to build infrastructure, because it is the infrastructure that creates the platform on which people can do business and generate profit and satisfy demand. This lovely facility here, this very convenient facility here, well designed and well laid out, this is going to create the new economy that will generate the new wealth for the parish. Not just for people who are already rich, but for every single person in St. Thomas. This will be generating the prosperity that you have always wished for.
That's the Prime Minister Andrew Holness speaking at the official ribbon cutting ceremony for the Morant Bay Urban Centre. More after this. This is Lead Story.
Contested quarter-final playoff against Tivoli Gardens, Morant Bay United return to their home base to battle table toppers Mount Pleasant. It's the semi-finals of the Jamaica Premier League, and the CVM TV will bring you all the thrill from the second city. Mount Pleasant cruised through the regular season, but this is a different ball game. Who will get the advantage in the first leg? Only time will tell. It's the first leg semi-finals of the JPL between Mount Pleasant and Morant Bay United from Montego Bay Sports Complex, live on CVM TV. Kickoff is 8:30 p.m. JPL Playoffs, powered by Sunshine Snacks, ABC Electrical, and Texaco.
It's Friday on Sunrise. Jump into your fun side with Yendi and IT. We celebrate National Children's Day with a musical show. Dub Squad is in the building. Then grab your popcorn for Sunrise Film Friday. We'll switch our screens to see what's trending online. Then the fun wraps with Free Zone. You've never seen a sunrise quite like this.
the Morant Bay Urban Centre. They had the official ribbon cutting ceremony today in Morant Bay, St. Thomas, and it is a very, very ambitious facility in terms of what it's setting out to do for the people of St. Thomas, what it aims to provide in terms of office space for businesses who want to take root in St. Thomas. And more important than that, the people of Morant Bay, the people of Eastern Jamaica, will now have many facilities within arm's reach so that they don't have to make that trek into Kingston again to crowd up the offices that so much of the island uses for services such as passports, such as paying their taxes. So many services are now coming to St. Thomas, will be housed at the Morant Bay Urban Centre, and the official ribbon cutting was today. You heard the Prime Minister say that it is a $6 billion Jamaican facility. That's the scale of the investment in it. National Commercial Bank, they will be there. There'll be a food court. He spoke, well, you saw in the video at the top some of the big brands that will have space there, and it was mentioned also that fast food places will have enough space to have a drive-through. Burger King, I saw, Juicy Patties, and I did see KFC. Now, you may think this is not important. You may think this is trite. Why is George focusing on the fast food outlets? Well, I can tell you this. For long, residents of St. Thomas have been the butt of jokes to say that the parish is so underdeveloped that the marquee fast food franchises don't even see the need to set up shop there. And you know that the marquee fast food franchises, they go where disposable income is highest, and they expect that there'll be a good return on their investment if the franchise is to move there. And so St. Thomas people were told that, look, you're also poor, you're also backward, the parish is backward, the parish is forgotten, that not even the fast food places are coming. Well, that story will change, because those fast food places, only the doors to go on a couple of the facilities, the signs are already up, and in short order they'll be doing what they hope will be a rip-roaring trade. Talk about St. Thomas being the butt of jokes because of lacking things that other parts of the country take for granted. For a long time, St. Thomas residents were told, your parish is so backward you don't even have stoplights. Well, now on the highway that has been built, there are several stoplights, and then in the city itself, in the major towns themselves, you also have stoplights being added. So it may seem trite, but it's a little thing, things that make people feel good about where they live, to feel like they are a part of any development that is happening in broader Jamaica. St. Thomas residents were previously told to keep their mouth shut, to allow people who come from developed parts of the country to have the conversation. They should sit quiet and watch the conversation proceed. Now they can enter, and enter with a strong voice. The Minister of Local Government and Community Development, Desmond McKins, was among the guests gathered today, and he also addressed the ribbon cutting ceremony. He had this to say.
I'm here today representing local government. This will be, the building behind us will be the most modern local government building in any part of this world, and this was done through the vision of our Prime Minister in establishing an urban center. Today we are here celebrating this occasion, cutting ribbons and announcing the commencement of new opportunities. I want to use this platform to urge the St. Thomas Municipal Corporation, when you occupy this new facility, I'm expecting that the standard of service that you offer to the parish will improve significantly. No longer you can complain about lack of proper space to offer service. I want to commend you also in the manner in which you work in allowing the approval processes and to honor the commitments as a municipal corporation in ensuring that the proper procedures were observed during the construction of this facility. St. Thomas, you have a lot to be thankful for. This is just the beginning of a dawn of a new day. Where there is good vision, the people will always see the light. But where there is no vision, And those visions didn't exist in the 1990s because this parish had a great track record before. Now the time has come when we have rebuilt, repurposed St. Thomas, and local government will play a critical role in the forward movement of the parish of St. Thomas.
And it's funny what has happened to St. Thomas over the years as we heard those words from Desmond McKenzie. There was a time when St. Thomas was thriving. It was at the heartbeat, well, represented the heartbeat of commerce and business in Jamaica. The legendary Robert Lightburn of blessed memory. He was a man who brought several industries, light industries to St. Thomas, constantly innovating, opening factories daily. There was a famous story told by the late great journalist Wilmot Perkins, when he was at, it may have been Radio Jamaica, when he was called by Robert Lightburn to say, Mr. Perkins, why are you not at the opening of so-and-so today? I sent an invitation for the media to be there, and I didn't see you there. And Mr. Perkins said, well, Minister, it's so hard to keep track of factory openings in St. Thomas because you open one almost every week. And so I'm being overwhelmed by requests. And that was where St. Thomas was coming from. St. Thomas, of course, hit on hard times, and the coconut industry, the side of the coconut industry that thrived in St. Thomas previously, knocked over by the yellowing disease, which killed a lot of the coconut trees. Hurricanes, what the yellowing disease didn't do, hurricanes came and finished off a coconut, so coconut fell. Dairy was strong in St. Thomas 1, still strong now by the presence of Surge Island and other, well, not other. Surge Island is huge. It's a behemoth, but small producers are also doing business there. But there was a time when St. Thomas was the dairy center of Jamaica.